Well, we're back at Amory. It's been a while. Today is the 11th of September 2022. 11 and 9. Well, it's 9/11, isn't it? Everybody knows where they were on 9/11, as it's so called, all these years ago, but it's still pretty fresh in most people's memories, isn't it? I certainly can remember exactly where I was on that day. I mean, a wee bit like the day that John F. Kennedy got shot, sadly. I can, well, I know where I was. I was in a cot. I was just a baby. But yeah, that was a big day in November '63. And it kind of changed the course of history for the world that we live in. And 9/11 was very similar. But I'm not going to talk about all the conspiracy stuff about 9/11. I just wanted to mention that it is the date, the 9th of September. Sorry, the 11th of September, getting mixed up. 11th of September 22. And as I say, I can recall exactly where I was. I was in my parents' garden. I was digging up the Michaelmas daisies to split them, you know. It's just a gardening job, nothing spectacular. And it was in the afternoon, but given the time difference with New York, I got a shout from my mum at the door, and she said, "Andrew, you have to come in and see this." So I kind of knew it must have been something quite important, because my mum knew that I didn't like anything on the television, even then. But I came in, and like everybody, I was absolutely, well, I was speechless, to be honest. I did have an inkling something wasn't quite right with the whole thing. That was my, almost first reaction. But my second reaction, it followed almost instantaneously, was I need to contact somebody that I really care about. And that's what I did. I went straight to the telephone and made a bit of a fuss. And, and I was trying to track this person down. I thought that the end of the earth had come along, and we're all doomed. It's, well, it's a long time ago, isn't it? But even then I was, but I'm not here to talk about the 9/11 situation. What I'm here to talk about today, I might give the windscreen a little wipe. Hold a second, please. Just like you see the view. Not much of view. Yeah, as I said already, Amory gets a bit misty, wild weather up here in the winter. So it's been a fairly pleasant morning, actually. I'm not going to give you a forecast. Oh, look, just before I start my subject today, the person who told me that my eau de toilette smelt like a skunk with halitosis that hadn't washed for a month. Well, she was right enough. I'm not going to give it's a Yves Saint Laurent. It's this one here. It's a vintage one. I bought it especially because it was, when I had the other one, they're very difficult to get a hold of. And the other one I've still got, and I've got a new one as well. Well, it's not new, but it's vintage new. But this one was different, and I bought it. And I haven't used it for a couple of months. 3 months. Well, probably not. I've not used it since I was told like it smelt like a rat's arse. But I sprayed it today. I mean, Yves Saint Laurent is a excellent company, and well, pay a lot of money for their products, don't they? When it goes away, right? When it's first scooted, it smells like rat's droppings. But after it's left on for a while and it lingers, it is a very distinctive, pleasant smell. But when I smelled it today, I thought, what the fuck? But anyway, it's kept in my car, and it gives off just a slight odour, and I think it's quite pleasant. But in fairness, I think the person that told me that it smelled like well, her words were different. I described it myself in a note to her that she was probably correct. It was like a skunk that hadn't washed for a month. I had halitosis, you know. But yeah, so what I'm going to talk about today is I'm waiting for a response from Transport Scotland, the people who deal with the roads and everything to do with roads. Not Bear Scotland, they deal with trunk roads, but Transport Scotland deal with the signage and anything to do with any problems with roads. Now you probably think I'm going to talk about potholes and shit like that, but I'm not. Hold a second. I'm going to talk about noisy bastards that come into the village, or at least to come into the cul-de-sac. And they seem to be engrossed in their shite music. And they have no, well, it's complete disregard for the people who stay there. I'm not talking about really the people who drive through the main trunk road that passes the village. I mean, you can't really turn your music down just because you're approaching a village, although this is the letter I was talking about to Transport Scotland. It's all part of the same package. But the people coming into the village who actually live there, as I say, total disregard, total selfish bastards, actually. They come in and they play their music at whatever volume. And I don't mind if it's, you know, like classical music or something with a bit of, you know, rhythm to it. And I'm not being an old fuddy-duddy. It sounds like I am, but that's what you get when the cars come into the cul-de-sac. And it's fucking annoying. So what I've done, well, the first thing I've done was I used to shout abuse. I used to shout abuse behind the hedge, but that didn't seem to work. I'm talking when I'm in the garden. This all stemmed actually the day that I finally, the final elastic broke in my brain. I had enough. I was sitting reading Milton's Paradise Lost, and it was a very nice afternoon, pleasantly sunny, and there was lots of butterflies in the garden and bees just hovering around the florets of some of the, you know, the trumpets of some of the flowers and stuff. So I was very relaxed sitting on my deck chair, not a care in the world, reading, well, the rather sombre Paradise Lost by Milton. But anyway, one of these cars came out the cul-de-sac that lived there, and the whole ambience of the afternoon was totally fucked. So what I quickly did was I went online and I purchased a megaphone, and it got delivered about 3 days later. It said 2 days, but it came on the third day. I think it came on the Monday, and it's a turbocharged megaphone. So the next time one of the culprits had come into the cul-de-sac, and I was kind of prepared for this, as soon as, you know, I heard the, I ran out in the back garden with my turbocharged megaphone, and I turn that shite down. But I didn't realise how loud this megaphone was, right? And people came to their windows, and there was Venetian blinds getting open. There was people coming out their doors. I'm honestly right across the whole village. I didn't realise how loud it was, and I think all the people passing the bus, they all sort of turned to face left just when I shouted. But anyway, I wasn't trying to stir up any bother. Well, I was just trying to nip it in the bud, but this megaphone didn't seem to work. So what I did is I drafted a letter to Transport Scotland, and it's a pretty well documented letter. It's a fairly balanced view. It's not just for me; it's for every single township and village in the country who probably suffer from the same crap from these people who drive in with their volumes on the stereo at excessive levels and all the time until they switch the engine off, and even then it still goes. So what I did, I've suggested these sort of signs. I don't know if we'd be able to see these here, but this one's the first one I'd put down, which I suggested that Transport Scotland could erect in lots of village entrances. Can you see this? Thank you for driving quietly. I hope you can see that in this light. Maybe I should focus just a little bit better for that one, away from this countryside. Bit fast, Andrew. Mind you. Let me see this. So, thank you for driving quietly was the first suggestion to Transport Scotland. And the second one I thought was, well, it's a bit more stern, but I think these could be erected at parking bays in villages and cul-de-sacs and stuff. But this one is called "Please Turn Volume Down." Please turn. I should have put "Please turn the fucking volume down," but it's "Please turn volume down." Now this is not placards that I'm going to write. I want these official signs erected. I mean, they're erecting enough signs anyway. There's signs everywhere for everything. I mean, and even signs in Gaelic. I mean, for all the country. So for people that don't even speak the language, it's like I think it's less than 1% of the Scottish race actually can speak one word of Gaelic. I can speak Radio Nan Gael. I can't even pronounce it. So there you go. So I can say Glasgow. When you're at Crane Lara, you always get signs that says Glasgow. So that's me. I can say Glasgow in Gaelic. But apart from that, there's very few people can speak Gaelic. Well, less than 1%, and that's official figures. So they spend millions on these Gaelic road signs. But the other one I thought, well, hopefully they take me seriously. But this is the other one that I'd got. It was just simply, when they park up the car, that's the first thing they see when they, go to close their car door. Shut the fuck up. But I mean, I quite like music like in like back in 1989. There's a lot of popular stuff I used to really like, and then during the 90s and even later, which involved having bass drums, quite loud and excessive, but I didn't play out of a car outside somebody's house at all hours. And so the letter to Transport Scotland is, as I say, it's been well written, and it's pretty balanced. And I think it'll be really good to have this, because the alternative will be. Is I might have to buy myself a drum kit, and say that I'm going to practice drums, or maybe just march about the street with one of those pipe band, one of the big bass drums that you get for the not the pipe major, but the drum major. Has got it slung over his front, and a couple of these big, what you've got, fluffy kind of things, boom, boom, and then just walk back and forward. If they know it's, say they're returning at 10 o'clock at night or 8 o'clock at night, you get a routine for these people coming home. Then you just come out with a big bass drum and march about just as they're parking up. And while they're going, boom, 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 right, you'll be like that, boom, 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 boom. And we'll see who fucks up their brain first, But certainly that day with a pleasant. I think I was sipping on Darjeeling tea just enjoying the afternoon as well. And as I say, it was lovely sunshine, and I had cucumber sandwiches with the crust, cut off the edges. So I was really, really having a relaxed kind of afternoon, and it totally ruined it. And so I thought I'll get the megaphone and the turbocharged megaphone, that is. Don't buy a turbocharged megaphone. It's just too loud, like, because you really will disturb people in a wide radius, as I did. But as I say, these little signposts, I don't think they'll use this one. No, I don't think they'll use that one. And they might consider this one. Please turn volume down. I hope you can see that. And this one, I feel they might consider this one. Thank you for driving. That's driving quietly. It might not get the message across, will it? Thank you for turning your stereo down. That might be a better one. Yes. In fact, thank you for not playing your music at all. Or thank you for putting your CD in the bucket, in the bin. Thank you for. Oh, you could just go on and on. But hopefully Transport Scotland and the people involved in these road signage takes the whole issue seriously, and I'm looking forward to the response from them. I'll let you know what happens anyway.